Introduction to the Book of Mark. The author didn't want to be identified. Only tradition tells us that the author is John Mark, and his book has been called the Gospel of Mark. The truth is that for Christians, it is more important who Jesus is than who they are because their identity comes from him. Mark's mother was Mary. She allowed Jesus' disciples to stay in her house, and she also opened her house to the early church as a meeting place. The first century was an era of great persecution for Jesus' followers. Offering her house in this way was a very difficult and potentially life-threatening commitment. It is here that Mark was educated spiritually under the guidance and example of a mother who was a firm believer in Christ. In this kind of environment, it is not surprising that he developed the missionary spirit. When the church in Antioch decided to send Paul and Barnabas out as missionaries, Mark accompanied them as an assistant. However, not long after their departure, he gave up and returned to Jerusalem to his mother's house. It was for this reason that Paul didn't want to take Mark on the next mission trip. Barnabas, Mark's uncle, opposed Paul's decision and insisted on taking him. The result was a split. Paul took Silas and Barnabas took Mark. Much later, Paul and Mark were reconciled and worked together once more. But what if there had been no such mother or uncle to provide spiritual guidance for Mark? We probably would not have the Gospel of Mark today. I especially admire what Mary did for the disciples. Mark witnessed how his mother and the disciples courageously worked together for the Lord. I'm sure it laid an unbreakable spiritual foundation for Mark's life. The house was his mission training center. Later, Mark also worked together with Peter, and he was like a son to Peter. In fact, there is strong possibility that Mark wrote his gospel under Peter's influence. The first century was an era of chaos in many different ways. In writing his gospel, Mark's goal was not to establish doctrines, but rather to encourage and edify early Christians who were living in a dangerous and frightening circumstances. Our world today is not much different. Uncertainty grows daily for us as well. As I begin my meditation on Mark and share it with you, it's my sincere desire that this book may shine the light of hope in each of us and into the world around us. God's thoughts toward us, our future, and hope.